Welcome back everybody to the channel. This week I've been testing the 2025 Cadillac Escalade IQ. Now it's clear that Cadillac has been a brand that has been focusing on its EV lineup. So naturally you have to include its flagship massive luxury 3-row SUV in the Cadillac Escalade. So now we get the IQ. It looks like it's from the future. It looks really cool. It's built on the same Ultium platform as the Silverado EV, so naturally it is heavy, it is massive, and it is quick, and it's got a ton of range to boat, and it's just ultra luxurious and an absolutely in-your-face EV that you don't want to miss. So I'm going to show you absolutely everything there is to see about this vehicle, interior, exterior, and of course the POV drive. Let's just get right into it. So first we'll start off as usual with the front end. What a massive front end it is, and what a cool lighting setup that they have, right? Everything's kind of glowy, right? The Escalade is not meant to blend in. It is meant to absolutely stand out. If you want to blend in and you got a lot of money, well then you buy the Yukon. You don't buy the Cadillac Escalade, and you definitely don't buy the IQ, because this thing sticks out like crazy and I love it. It's got really nice lighting themes as well, a nice glow from the badge a little bit there because it's chromed out. Do have some battery cooling here as well. It's in its exit/entry mode, so it's the lowest it can go, and since there is no engine, we do have a pretty massive front trunk. So a little hidden button down there. I'll be honest, I had to Google where it was, but here it is. A massive space for all of your needs. You could probably fit a suitcase or two in here. We do have some onboard power as well, so that's very cool. Windshield washer is going to go in right there. Usually I put my wall charger in here, and just the stuff that you don't really need or want in the car. A little privacy cargo screen right there for the rear. And yeah, I like how widely it opens as well. And same thing to close it. You go ahead and hit the button. You can also do this from the key fob as well, so no worries there either. All right, so since there was nothing under the hood, let me talk to you about what is actually under the floor. We have a double stacked 205 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery pack. That is ridiculous. And part of the reason why this vehicle weighs over 9,000 pounds. I've got an L plate. In Quebec, an L plate means that your vehicle is extremely heavy, and it absolutely is. So at 100% of charge, Cadillac says this will do 740 kilometers. And I can say I've seen about that plus a little bit more in the warmer conditions this week. So very good news. It's of course dual motor, so we have the all-wheel drive. This thing produces in its VMAX mode, so maximum horsepower. The max output is 750 horsepower, 785 pound-feet of torque. That is mind-boggling when you think of how heavy this thing is, and just how, fast it gets up to speed is unbelievable. I also have the all-wheel steering, arrival mode, crab walk stuff, which we'll take you through a little bit later. It also has 24-inch wheels, and when it comes to charging, it accepts up to 350 kilowatts of max DC fast charging. So you can get quite a bit of power back into this massive battery pack quite quickly if you can find a 350 kilowatt charger. Around me, they are very, very far and few in between. I think I have one that goes max 200 and 150 are the ones that I'll use when I need to fast charge, and it'll get me there in a little bit less time than a 350, but a decent amount of time for an EV. Now, next up, we have the side profile for the Cadillac Escalade IQ. Really cool. Again, it's in its exit/entry mode, so it's the lowest you'll see it. It's the lowest it can go. I love this gray paint color. Really, really screams luxury to me. Again, a good shot of those 24-inch tires, ridiculously big. We do have some turn signal LED stuff right here on the side. Nice and big mirrors because this is massive. We got a camera there as well, 360 degree. We've got fake door handles, but a little press of that button, the doors will open by themselves. And yes, they can open in parking lots and stuff. So if you are close, the doors do have sensors and will stop opening fully if there is a car next to you or a person next to you. Whatever it is, it will do that. Hard to believe that in 2026, the L will come and make this thing even bigger. This thing barely fits in my driveway as is. So imagine with an L version, it would be absolutely ridiculous. Now, on to the rear. A very nice place to look at as well. None of the Escalade lost its Escalade value becoming an EV. It actually maybe increased it, because this thing looks like it's from another world. Reminds me of the Lyriq a little bit, this back end does, but I do enjoy looking at the Lyriq as well. So looking at the Cadillac is a very nice experience, obviously. Looking at the Escalade is a very nice experience, actually. Nice light bar that comes all the way up here. We have our wireless charging port right in the back here. It's automatic opening and closing, so no issues there either. We have our rear windshield, the wipers tucked up nicely underneath this guy right here where the brake light is. We do have a camera back there as well for our digital rear view mirror. Of course, 360, this thing basically parks itself. I mean, it's so crazy. And then we have the interesting badges, right? Cadillac Escalade IQ badge right there. And the 1000 E4. So the E4 stands for all-wheel drive. The 1000 stands for the torque number in Newton meters. So a little play on numbers because the torque number, like I said, is in the 700s in pound-feet. But if you convert that to Newton meters, well then it actually is 1,000. Little play there. Very interesting to see that they did that. But let's check out the trunk. And the way you access the trunk, honestly, again, not proud of it. Had to Google it. I couldn't find it myself. It's actually not a button at all. It's more in the form of a sensor. So you go up to the crest here and you just give it a little push and a little delay, and there we go. Automatic opening and closing tailgate opens right up for you. Of course, you can power operate these rear seats. This is enough though. This is enough for my Costco runs. I spend my entire life savings there. Not willingly, it just happens. And then we also have this nice little cladding here with the Escalade logo on it. Very nice. This is plenty of room for me just as it is, but of course if I needed more, I could obviously fold that seat down and would have no issue. So that's gonna about do it for my full tour of the Cadillac Escalade IQ. What a machine, what a vehicle. It is really, really good looking. I mean, I could walk around this thing all day. This gray paint color mixed with the black accents of the thing looks super cool. I mean, it looks like it's from another world. It does. And what a great job to still make something that stands out, that's luxurious, and that is awesome to look at, and has a front trunk, and has all the nice EV stuff that you want in an EV if you're an EV buyer. And some of the stuff you may not, but let's hop inside because, trust me, you haven't seen anything yet. All right, so first up is the rear for the Cadillac Escalade IQ. So you don't have to do anything because these doors open all by themselves. Yes, that is really, really cool technology. So taking a quick look at the interior, you can see we have really nice leather all over the seats here. We've got speakers in our headrest as well. There's also a third row back there, which you can fit in as an adult, but it's a little squished, especially when you have the baby seat right there. I've kind of had to put it all the way back because we have these screens here as well. So let's actually hop in here. We actually got a nice Cadillac IQ badge and this static step. Very nice to have. And look at this open wood trim, this kind of gloss wood trim mixed with this chrome and this leather and a very nicely tinted rear window. But hopping in, easy to do, no problem at all. Greeted with a nice screen here, and look at this. You want to close the door, no problem. Pull up on the handle. Soft close, of course, takes care of itself. So starting with the screen, it's the first thing you're going to get greeted with. Now, I don't have any built-in YouTube or stuff like that. I believe in the States, though, you guys probably have some type of apps built in. For some reason in Canada, we don't get that. But it's fine because you can connect an HDMI source and then you can stream from that if you want, game console, whatever. But say you just want something simple, you want to see what's going on, you can see all of the stuff in here. You can see the speedometer, how fast your driver is going, and things like that. So it's really cool. In terms of leg room, this is my driver profile. Tons of room here. I've also got a nice little pocket there for storage. I've got my own rear vents back here, 2 cup holders with USB-C ports on either side. Really nice. I also really like this trim here because this is the executive package. That's why I have this separation here. So I've got the captain's chairs and then this separation that maybe makes it a little harder to get to the rear because now you really are relying on moving these seats out of the way. But it's really cool. You get a little bit of storage. You get your HDMI ports down there as well with your like household plugs down here as well. So that's going to be good. And of course, the executive package gives you a screen back here where you're going to control your own climate control. You'll also have heated and ventilated seats as well as the massage function. And you can control every aspect of the seating from here. Although I would have wished that, you know, it's nice to have it on the screen. It would have been nice to have some physical buttons here as well to do it. But the screen is doable. You can use it. Then you have your own ambient lighting. You can enhance the conversation. So when the front speakers, they will amplify your voice so the driver and front passenger can hear you better. So that's quite interesting. So obviously I can control the second and third row climate control from right here. So that's very convenient. No complaints there. I've got 2 wireless charging pads right here. And then this seems like it should be storage, but it is absolutely not storage. It is actually a first-class airplane seat because this guy unfolds. just like so here, comes down. See if I can get it all in one shot. And then you have your own little tray, so you can put food, drinks, you know, a little meal, or most of the time probably like an iPad or like a laptop. Base for a laptop can sit right here, and you can work while you charge back here, worst case, or your passengers can do whatever they need to do on this thing. And then when you're done, of course, it just folds right back up into itself. It's a little janky to do with one hand, but here we go. There we go. Right back in, and the other side can, of course, do the same thing. Very, very cool. Now, got a ton of speakers, I think it's 40 AKG speakers, and so that's kind of where some of the speakers are, as well as we have a really nicely tinted roof here, and of course, it's all Alcantara, really nice feeling material on the headliner. Nothing cheap in here. The carpets don't feel cheap. I mean, everything feels high quality, luxurious, and that's exactly what you're expecting from, you know, a vehicle that costs north of $200,000 Canadian. You kind of need it to be top notch, and it definitely is. It's just the question to be asked is, you know, is this good enough for most families, right? Is this separation? For me, it's all right because I only have one child. 2 car seats might make it a little complicated, and then the third row obviously is the thing. But obviously, if you know, you have older kids or whatever, and you know, you're rich as, you know, ever, you could easily have a great time with this executive package. I like the fact that I can control everything through this screen here, and it just looks like a first-class airplane seat. Very cool. But since there's a lot going on in the back, there's even more going on up front. Let's hop up there. All right, so next up is the business end, the front seat. Of course, it is the automatic opening doors that you all know and love already. The AKG massive sound system right here. And then here I do have some seating controls as well as the massage controls, and I can activate pretty much everything through these buttons right here. Also 2 memory seat settings. It's gonna keep beeping at me, so let's just hop in. So no need to close the door. I can just press on the brake, and there we go. It's worth mentioning I also have full control through this over all of the doors inside the vehicle. But let's start off with what we are greeted with right away. This really cool kind of 2-spoke Cadillac steering wheel with a nice badge there. It doesn't have the Cadillac colors, it's just kind of the chrome, but sort of physical buttons like these haptic feedback buttons for your media stuff, and then your cruise control, heated steering, stuff like that is here. We do have, of course, Super Cruise enabled, so that is, again, another option, and great to have it, though, because it's elite. I mean, this thing is already elite, and then Super Cruise kind of just adds to it. Then on all the way to the left-hand side, I have my ride height control, the ability to open the front trunk and the rear tailgate, as well as the illumination stuff. And then we have kind of the beginning of the endless screen setup here. So check this out. So here I just can have a normal view. It's called Gauge, but you can also have a couple of different ones here. So I can pull up Google Maps, which looks really crazy if you're trying to go somewhere. It looks nice. And then I can go down and I can do driver assistance, which will kind of show you what's going on the road, as well as your media. And then I also have night vision, which obviously we're in the daytime, so it's not going to look proper. But this, I'm assuming, will give us a little front-facing camera, like the classic. There's somebody walking their dog. The classic kind of thing. It's kind of telling me right now that you can see it's not nighttime, so it's a little bit useless. But we've seen that on Escalades before, so it's cool to see it here. But usually I'm just staying in the gauge mode. I think it's simple enough. And I also have a heads-up display that's giving me my speed and stuff, so very nice. And then it just kind of continues on over, right? We have this shifter here that's on most of the GM electric vehicles and some of the gas vehicles now as well. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm more indifferent to it. It's fine. It works. It works nicely, and it's easy to get used to. Now, I have a ton of stuff going on here in the center screen, basically. This is where you're going to control most of the settings, stuff like that, built-in Amazon Alexa. I've got 360-degree cameras. You'll see your vehicle status. I'll be able to control the My modes, my different drive modes, sport mode, tour mode, tow and haul. And then we also have the VMAX, which you can see right down there, what it will do if you open that screen. Got the My Cadillac, the Play Store, the Google Assistant, built-in Spotify, so there's no wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You have to kind of connect your phone to Bluetooth and hope for the best. But usually I'm a Spotify user. If you're an Amazon Music user, you'll be fine there too. And so I just stream off of Spotify, and I obviously connect my phone to the Bluetooth to make sure that I can make calls and stuff like that. this here, you can see we've got some trip information, auto park assist. I can control the different entertainment hubs, so I can turn them off. I can lock them if I want. And then I also have YouTube built in up here, which is interesting. But for some reason, it's not in the back seat, which I'm not sure why I'm not able to get it there, but there might be a way to do it. And then down here, of course, we have a bunch of quick access stuff, and I can click this button right here, which will pop open our glove compartment. Only way to do that, because there's no physical buttons to open the glove compartment. Now, last but not least, we'll come into our third screen, which is a lot like the back seat, where you don't really have too much you can do. In terms of settings, you can connect your headphones, you can use the in-speaker, cabin speaker if you want, which is cool. And yeah, you can pretty much see the vehicle status if you want as well while you're sitting here, and that is about it for what you can do, unless, again, you want to connect an HDMI source and then stream off of that. You can very well do that pretty easily, but just not the most interesting thing, not the most usable thing. But when it's all laid up like this, so if I put the car in drive right now too, this will become like really dimmed to me, and I won't be able to see it. I can see it now because I'm in park, but if I put it in drive, it'll immediately dim out, which is obviously for safety reasons. Then we get on to our fourth screen. I guess it's the fifth screen if you include the back one in this vehicle. Ridiculous, but this is where you're going to control your climate control. So again, very minimal physical buttons. If you don't like that, you're going to absolutely hate this. This is going to get super fingerprinty because you have to use it, right? So here I have my front, second, and third row, obviously climate control. I can sync it all should I need to. Then I can control where the air comes from with this little graphic here. Then I can get onto the seat controls. Again, I can control every single seat from up here should I need to. I have my ventilated seats, my heated seat settings. The position I can change from here as well, although you do have a control for it on the door on both sides, which is nice. And I can pretty much do everything seat-wise. Controls here, I can change some of the drive stuff, the heads-up display, the rear steering. I can turn it on or off, so I can turn, this is where you're going to come and turn arrival mode on or off, which is very interesting. And then you can control your headlights, obviously, and then I can bring up the cameras, turn off the lane keep assist, stuff like that. Camera 360 degree, not too bad. If you can do, you know, your towing, your side, your whatever you need. I'm not towing anything, so it's not gonna help me too much, but I have all these different camera angles, which is a pretty decent quality as well. I can see everything, see the road very nicely, so no complaints there. Then I do have this guy here, a little bit of haptic feedback buttons again, as well as like the piano black here. This area is going to get fingerprinty and dirty really quick. 200 grand vehicle. I don't know how often I want to keep it dirty, but it's just unavoidable. I got this really high quality little rotator here. Looks and feels really good. Little volume knob here as well. Again, we got the open wood trim here. A second wireless charger for the passenger, as well as the driver ones right here. I've got a cup holder that can kind of go up and down very nicely. Then I've got some underneath the floor storage right here. A little bit of storage in there with a USB-C port. And then the seats are exactly like the rear. Heavy bolster. I can adjust a lot of stuff here. Sound system inside of the headrest, which is always a very nice touch, and we always like that. Passenger can control all of their stuff as well. So really premium experience here. Really fun time in this thing. Digital rearview mirror, of course, to top it all off, and we've got the interior camera here as well. So overall, it is a ton of tech, an overwhelming amount of tech for those of you that are not comfortable with it. It is insane. It took me, I really had to sit in the car and get used to what was going on and all the buttons and everything, not physical buttons, but all the different features and stuff like that. Everything that needed to be done in this thing, I really had to go over it. I guess last but not least, I'm at 92% state of charge, 690 kilometers. That is ridiculous. It's an insane amount of range. Nobody needs that much range from an EV yet. But again, good to have in this price point. I guess that's what you would be expecting. So completely fair to accept or expect something like that. So there you go. After a long interior segment, let's put that GoPro on my forehead and let's take it for a drive. So we're gonna get on the road here. POV time, but let's start off with this arrival mode steering, the kind of gimmick of the thing. So here we go. Hang on, arrival mode, and there we go. Sometimes, there we go. Rear wheel steering is active. I am in drive. You have to be a full stop. You have to come to a full stop. You don't necessarily have to be in park, but now I can't really go too fast, but now check this out. I'm just going to start moving diagonally like so. it's really disorienting at first, because usually the way, you turn is the car kind of follows. So now that's not happening, right? Like, it's just doing this. But I can take a curve like this. You can see here, there's a curve here. I can do it, and the front end will eventually realize what I'm doing and come around. Well, let's say, like, I wanted to come around the corner and just park right next to this curb. I could do that with absolute ease. I mean, it looks so weird from the outside. I'll include some B-roll so you can see like what that looks like. So like, I can just come up to curbs and stuff, but I could also go to the right-hand side as well. Kind of got to watch the mirror because the back end tends to not follow as quick as the front goes, but I can also go this way now and hold it. And then I can go here and hold it again and just keep holding it, and then go this way. I think like the more I use this, the better I get, but I'm still like, okay, I don't want to clip the curb, but then we can go this way now. Like, I feel like the faster I turn it, the better it is. But also you can't really add that much speed because it'll kick you out of the mode. So yeah, pretty cool, right? Like, see this, like I'm just kind of at a 90 degree here, but I can kind of get back in my lane and try to get it to go forwards. But here, we're going to stop here and turn this off because it does give me a little bit of a headache because I'm trying to like do so many things at once. So the way you do it is you just turn arrival mode off, and then it's back to the auto rear wheel steering, which means the back wheels will go opposite to the front wheels, but still give you like a really good turning radius, which is super cool. And yeah, so overall, the week with it's been really fun. It's been fun to like show people that feature and get the reactions to it, and then to see it from the outside, to like film it with a tripod and then film that arrival mode reaction is really cool. That's very much a lot of what the Cadillac Escalade IQ is. Not only is it like luxurious and fast and comfortable and tech packed, but it also like, it's got a lot of show pieces to it, if that makes sense. Because, like people step in this thing for the first time and they take a look and they're like, oh my God, look at that pillar to pillar screens, right? And that's a showpiece, and the fact that it does the arrival thing's a showpiece, and the fact that it goes so fast. Like, there's a lot of like showy, offy materials in here, which for a video and a car review, that's really fun because I have a lot of stuff to film. I have a lot of content to go over for you guys. I got a lot of segments to highlight. But like, I just think about it long term. Like, eventually, like, everybody's gonna be like, oh yeah, okay, cool, your SUV crab walks, wow. It'll be one of those things that will eventually wear off. You will eventually get used to it. And yeah, it's fast, but it's extremely heavy as well. You'll see that in a second. It's lightning quick, but I mean, wow, it's heavy. I mean, when you're ripping it around, you do feel the weight, but I mean, I don't think it'll ever lose its cool factor for the owners. I just think for maybe if you want to show off to other people, it's like a one-time deal, and then you're kind of done. But for owners like me, I'm probably going to use that arrival mode a lot, just because I'm a fan of tech. I'm a fan of the engineering of it. I really like how that all operates and works and looks. I'm probably going to use that more than you might think, right? It's a dark day out too, and there's nobody on the road, so it's kind of excellent as well. It's like later in the evening here, so look, these summer months are going to give me some nice nighttime shots or some nice evening shots to film with a little bit less traffic on the road for you guys. So really good, and I just love driving this IQ. So I'll do it all day, and then I'll come home and I'll do it at night, and I'll film absolutely all of it for you guys because vehicles like this don't come around too much. I mean, $200,000, and they're letting a bunch of journalists drive it. I mean, that is quite something from Cadillac, but I guess they want people to see it, and if you want people to see it, I am the guy to do it. Trust me, I think we're gonna have a really good time here. So let's just make sure there's no friends here, nobody really too close behind us, and let's give it the beams. Oh my God. And that was like a little pull. I mean, it does kind of top out, right? Like, no matter what, I mean, it's so much weight, even like with over 700 horsepower in VMAX mode, which is what I was just in, which basically gives the battery and everything full boost, full torque, and full horsepower output is available in VMAX mode. But really, I only drive in it for like, again, just to show people like, okay, get ready, I'm going to rip your neck out now with this 9,000 pound SUV. And rip your neck out, it kind of does at first, and then it tops off, and you're like, oh, okay. That kind of power in like a smaller SUV, I think you might as well attach wings to the thing and just let it take off. I mean, this is right here, straight road here, is as good of a runway strip as you're going to get, right? Like, it's just see you later, let's fly. But of course, this thing weighs so much because of the battery. And when you're ripping it, it's good because there's, you know, a little bit of body roll, obviously, because it's such a big machine. But also, you do feel that low center of gravity, like all that weight on the bottom. You do feel a little bit more stability control. There's a little bit more steering control there as well. So I always appreciated that part. It's always feels really good. The all-wheel steering, of course, makes things a little sharper in, you know, parking lots and different things like that. So it's easy to maneuver around and kind of get around day to day. So that's also very good. And yeah, I mean, it's just luxury to the, you know, to the max degree, right? Because it does have air suspension, adaptive suspension, all that stuff. So it deletes all the bumps, like all like the potholes and stuff like that. But it can't really delete big speed bumps or like big curbs. So like when I go over a big speed bump or off a big curb, like it really crashes down all that weight. Gravity really takes effect, because other than that, this thing kind of does feel like it's defying gravity a little bit, in just the fact that it's so quick, so rapid. But 9,000 pounds should not be able to accelerate that quick, but it does. But then, you know, it kind of breaks the mold when you do hit a heavy speed bump and you feel the weight kind of crash into the floor. It is a thing that happens, unfortunately. But I mean, there's not that many speed bumps, so it's not a huge deal breaker for me. In terms of ride quality, it's been really good. Like a smooth road like this, it just kind of feels like I'm floating above the road here. No problem. If you're sitting in the back seat, you're nice and comfortable. I mean, I can turn my massage seats on. I know right now it's kind of cold out, so I've got my heated seats, heated steering on. I've got the heat on. You know, I'm just sitting comfortable, just sitting nice and comfortable. Eventually, this ambient lighting will kick in. It's not kicking in now because there's still too much light outside, but it's very nice. You can customize it. The people in the back can actually customize it, which is cool. Look, this is a vehicle that personally I'll always enjoy driving stuff. Like even if I have a Rolls Royce or whatever, I would enjoy driving it more than sitting in it. But this one is really good for both. But again, it's really fun. It's as fun to drive as it is to be driven in. It's kind of oriented in both angles. Like, hey, if you want to drive around in high style luxury with like all your people and all your things, you know, hey, this thing's going to be the one to do it with, because it's so much fun. So like I said, 750 horsepower in VMAX mode. It feels something like this. Boom. Oh my God, I can't even keep it straight. I probably should put 2 hands on the steering wheel. Goodness me. It like really moves around under like high load, high speed. It's just ridiculously fast and a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I don't really, like I said, I never use VMAX mode. I just don't. Like unless I'm ripping it, unless I got the camera on and go in here, VMAX mode is just off. And also like these screens can be extremely distracting, but only if you don't know where things are. Because I got this little dial here, like you can see, and I kind of am used to using it, and I know where things are at, and I kind of can move around and do all these things. And it's then see now it's telling me that it's noticed that I'm distracted. I'm surprised it hasn't noticed that I have a GoPro strapped to my forehead. But it does track your eyes with this little sensor, and it will yell at you if it notices you looking over at these screens too much. And it's quite sensitive. Sometimes I'll just look up slightly, and I guess the tracker will lose sight of my eyes, and it will do that. But like, because sometimes you got to look down to change your climate and stuff like that, because there's no quick access button for anything. There's no physical buttons for anything. So sometimes like, oh, I want to change my seat, so I got to go into this menu, and see now it's yelling at me already. I want to put my massage seat on. I got to do this, I got to do that. And I got to look down, and then I'm looking down and the seat's vibrating. It's a lot. It really is a lot. Like if you don't know where things are and what to do with stuff, it's a lot. And that like seat vibrating thing, it becomes annoying, because it's like, no, I see the road. Like right now I see the road, but it seems like the eye tracker's lost me. Like I see the road, I'm completely fine. I'm right here, I'm looking at the road, but I want to, you know, my seat, my butt is burning. My butt is on fire. I have to do it. And it's just all these things coming at you at once. So really my thing is like, I really sat with this thing and I spent some time and I figured out where everything was, and I tried to, you know, move things around here so that I could get everything that I would want right where I need it. That way, like, I'm never lost. I kind of know where things are, and that can happen very quick. So if you are thinking about owning this thing, it'll happen quick. You just have to spend the time to do it. This is very much not like a plug-and-play vehicle. You have to know everything. And this is really cool too. So when I put my turn signal on right here, you'll see I got a big pop-up. At first I found it like a little distracting, But now that I've been used to it, it's just a little glance over there, look at the blind spot, and it's a really nice and big, high-quality camera, even like in low light when it gets a little darker like it is now. It's still really, really good. So I really like having that on the highway. I've got Super Cruise enabled as well, so it'll drive by itself. At this price point, it better be able to park and drive by itself. That it can do, so no problem there, because I do have a auto park assist button, so I'm interested to see maybe later on how that goes. But usually auto parks are, you know, pretty nerve-wracking, and I usually never do them in fully populated parking lots because it just scares the life out of me, especially with a $194,000 car. I'm not doing that at all. So, starting to get dark, starting to lose the light, and this eye tracker is bothering me because it thinks that my eyes are covered. As soon as I called it out for not realizing that I had a GoPro on my forehead, it realized I had a GoPro on my forehead, and it's vibrating my seat, and it's annoying. So, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I mean, there's so much to cover here. I kind of had to pick and choose what to highlight and what to go over. Otherwise, this video would be like an hour and a half long, and nobody would watch it, let's be honest. So, I try to keep it to the most interesting stuff, the stuff that, you know, is honestly going to sell the Cadillac more. The stuff that you're interested in, the stuff that you probably clicked on this video to see. So hopefully that's what happened. If there's other things you want to see, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If there's anything I missed, I'll try to, put it in the description, or if you have a question in the comments, I'll try to answer it with that fact or information that you are looking for. I always like to hear what you think, so let me know what you think of the spec. Would you buy this? Would you not? This IQ or the gas version, which one are you going with? Let me know in the comments. This is faster than the Cadillac Escalade V, but one has a V8. That's all I'll say there. So make sure you like, subscribe. I'll see you the next week. See you in the next car. Take care.